Hello, welcome back to the Lizzabitty channel. On the road to 1K. Yes, I must keep reiterating that. Please get us to 1,000 subscribers. Two reasons. One, it's a goal. Yay! Always have goals no matter what you're doing. Two, I will be able to go live from my mobile device. So right now, if you are under 1K, you can only go live via third-party apps or from your desktop. So I'd like to go live from my mobile device. So please, help us get to 1K. Lizzabitty. So again, welcome. And today's story time is my first time, the very first time I went to what you all are calling Egypt, aka Kemet. Wow, where shall I begin? First, let me say this. My first time in Kemet, I stayed for 31 days. And went all over except for northern Egypt. That kind of bummed me out, but I was not able to do that. So I made a pact with myself that I was coming back and all of my time would be spent where? In northern Kemet. For those of you who are not aware, the way the Nile flows, north is what we consider in terms of cardinal directions south, and south is considered north. Does that make sense to you? So northern Kemet is down here, and southern Kemet is up here. I know. It's the way the river flows. Anyway, let us proceed. Why was I there for so long? Typically, when I go to a place that I'm really trying to seek, I'm going to use the word intel on. Yes, I stay for extended periods of time. That is my stilo. At some places I've gone, I've stayed, let's say 2 weeks, like this. But typically, I stay for a long period of time because I'm trying to get myself into the realm, the culture, the people, all of that. So my first time going, a colleague and I had signed up to go, and we signed and said, hey girl, let's go. And so we did. I was actually celebrating my 30th birthday. So yes, it was big 3-0 for a sister. And first landed in Cairo. What struck me about this place, even though I'd seen pictures, I still was looking for people that truly looked like me. And it wouldn't be as populous for people that look like me in the areas that I visited. So again, that made me have the pact. Well, Lizzabitty, you have to go back. Okay. So landed in Cairo, got a cab to go into Cairo because we're going to be in Cairo just a few days. And then we were heading to Alexandria. Stayed in Cairo a few days. At this time, I didn't do a lot of shopping there. Something that fascinated me about the Egyptians is that, especially in their market areas that are high tourist spots, here's what you're going to find. You can never come to an Egyptian there and speak a language that they are not versed in. So like I felt, because they kept pushing their merchandise, okay, no matter where I went, they kept pushing. So I said, and I'm listening and watching what they were doing with other with people from other countries in terms of language. And I said, okay, nobody's speaking Spanish, so what I'll do is, if someone tries to force their wares on me, I'm going to start speaking what little Spanish I know. Let me tell you something. There was a recipe that I thought was going to work for me, and the cake did not rise. So the guy says, "Oh, you speak Spanish, huh?" Wait. He went and got someone that spoke Spanish. You know, I am not fluent in Spanish, but it was hilarious to the mere fact that in order to get that money, they are willing to go that extra mile with language, everything, to get the money. I find it hilarious. So what's also interesting is, in hindsight, now that I'm doing this video, what I think would be unique, very unique, is if some continental Africans go there and they start speaking their languages. I mean, what do you think? I think it could work. Why? It is not a widely used language. So they may be onto something. They may be able to not get the browbeating for you to purchase because they wouldn't know the tongue, i.e. Chichewa, Swahili, like so. I don't know. I'm just thinking. So anyway, get in the cab. It was not during the time of day where you would have rush hour traffic. However, as we begin to get closer and closer to Cairo, they have this, I forget the name of this particular overpass bridge that goes right into Cairo when you're coming from the airport to go into the city. The traffic on this thing was insane. And I mean, imagine one of those tall overpass bridges that we have in the States, and you're sitting there for hours on end stuck. People were getting out of their cars, the taxi drivers and stuff, as well as other private citizens turning their music on. People were dancing on the bridge. I'm sitting here like, yeah, it was interesting. So finally, traffic started to move, and we made it, of course, to our hotel. Egypt was a lot for me to take in. A lot. Okay. So, this video could be very, very long, but I'll stick to some of the points of interest that I visited, because I could make several videos, lengthy videos, about my time in Egypt, ancient Kemet. We mosey on up to Alexandria, and we stayed there. Was it 2 weeks? I believe I stayed in Alexandria for 2 weeks, because we then ended up going to Sharm el-Sheikh, which is on the Red Sea. Alexandria was interesting. The beaches, how Egyptians there differed from the Egyptians in Cairo, because that is a coastal city. There was a little place right around the corner from where our apartment was, and I would go there all the time to get like sandwiches and stuff, because they have a lot of cuisine that I wasn't a fan of. A lot of sheep meat. Yeah. No. I actually went to the side of the Mediterranean where they contend that Cleopatra and Mark Antony would go and bathe one another. And it's a lovely little area. Hit all of what's left of ancient, what you would call libraries. They had a few. Of course, they The way they look, of course, all of the damage, but it's a place, the sites that you can actually see. So, did that as well. I'm not a big fan of shisha. However, I tried it and got sick. I've never been a big smoker. So, yeah, it made me very, very, very sick. Although I enjoyed the concept, but it just made me very, very sick. Shisha is what they call it in statesides. You all are calling it hookah. I'm not sure where the name hookah came from. I've never done the research, but there it's called shisha. Even here in Dubai, it's shisha. That maybe this be a Western construct. I'm not really sure. So I'll tell you what I enjoyed about Alexandria. I enjoyed being on that beach. I really, really did, because our apartment was facing the beach and you just had to cross the street and you'd be right there. What struck me as odd, and I had never seen anything like this in my life, and especially since I had a dear friend of mine who I went to college with, and she and her family, these people, they are serious travelers. She would tell me things about, because they had been to Egypt as well, this, that, and the third. But sometimes, she'd have her stories and it never honed into me. Well, I got my aha moment the first time I went to the beach in Alexandria and was out there, and I saw women in full abayas, including the burqa. They were actually in the sea. They were frolicking in the water, just like you and I would do with our bathing suits on. It was interesting. Now, did I get in the pool? Did I get in the sea there with my swimming suit on? No. Why? Because I didn't, as I told you, our building was across the street from the water. When I would look out the window, I didn't see people ladies wearing swimming suits. So to stick to the culture and not be a sore where I'm spotted, I stuck with what they were doing. No, I was not in an abaya, but I wore leggings and a shirt. And of course, got in the sea that way. But it really struck me as odd because I had never seen anything like that in my life. One, it's black, it's hot, and I just couldn't imagine having on, even with what I had on, it was heavy because water saturates things. So imagine what they wore and how full it was of water. Man. But they were enjoying themselves. The women. Now the men, of course, were out there shirtless. Of course, that also taught me immediately, I wouldn't say taught, but it showed me the hypocrisy in it. You had men out there with Speedos and stuff on, but yet the women are sitting over here fully covered. So if you're saying that you're protecting the women in terms of their attire, and so people don't have these lustful things in their heart, why the men not covered up? They sitting out here with Speedos on. That's a topic for another discussion. We'll leave it at that. Okay. We went on over to Sharm el-Sheikh. Sharm el-Sheikh. And beautiful water. Beautiful plant life. Beautiful sea plant life. The snorkeling and diving and all of that was the best. I got to see so many different species of animals of the water. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now, it was hotter than John. Ooh. To me, it was hotter there than it was in Cairo and Alexandria. It was very, very hot. I don't know. I really don't know why I was so hot. Yeah, but I enjoyed my time there, and we were there 7 days, I believe. Maybe 6 days. We ended up going back to Cairo. It ended up being like 31 days. So that was my first time setting foot in Egypt. Of course, I had been back after this particular visit because I had to go and see the Nubians. The beautiful people. The black people. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.